Towering above the plains of ancient Mesopotamia, the ziggurats stood as colossal monuments to the gods, stepped pyramids that defied the sands of time. These architectural marvels were more than just religious temples. They were symbols of power, centers of worship, and gateways to the heavens. But what drove the ancient Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians to build these massive structures? How did they construct them with the limited technology of their time? And what do these ancient wonders tell us about the civilization that created them? Join us as we unravel the mysteries of the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, delving into their origins, significance, and the enduring legacy. The story of the ziggurats begins in the early days of Mesopotamian civilization, around 3000 BCE, when the first city-states of Sumer began to rise along the fertile banks of the Tigris and Euphrates River. These early cities were dominated by temples, known as temples on platforms, where the city's patron deity was believed to reside. As the Sumerians' understanding of the architecture evolved, so did their religious structures, leading to the birth of the ziggurat, a grand tiered platform that elevated the temple closer to the heavens. The ziggurat was more than just a place of worship. It was a manifestation of the ancient Mesopotamian belief in the cosmic order, where the gods lived in the sky and the humanity on earth. By building these monumental structures, they sought to bridge the gap between the divine and the mortal, creating a sacred space where the gods could descend to commune with their followers. The ziggurat symbolized the city's connection to its divine protector, serving as both a religious and a political center. Constructing a ziggurat was no small feat, especially given the limited technology available in ancient Mesopotamia. These structures were built using sun-dried mud bricks, with each layer carefully constructed to form a solid and stable foundation. The core of the ziggurat was made of mud brick, while the other layers were often faced with baked bricks, some of which were glazed with vibrant colors to reflect the sun's light. To ensure the ziggurat's stability, the Mesopotamians employed advanced engineering techniques, including drainage systems to prevent water damage and sloping walls to distribute the weight evenly. The construction process involved thousands of laborers, skilled artisans, and master builders, all working together to create these architectural wonders. The largest ziggurat, such as the Great Ziggurat of Ur, took decades to complete, standing as testaments to the ambition and ingenuity of their creators. Each ziggurat was designed with a series of terraces, with a grand staircase or ramp leading to the temple at the summit. This temple, known as the waiting room of the gods, was where priests conducted rituals and offered sacrifices to ensure the city's prosperity and protection. The ziggurat's towering height not only symbolized the city's devotion to its deity, but also served as a visible reminder of the divine authority that governed the land. In the heart of every major Mesopotamian city stood a ziggurat, serving as both the spiritual and social center of the community. These towering structures were not only places of worship, but also symbols of the city's power and wealth. The construction of a ziggurat was a massive undertaking, often sponsored by the ruling king, who sought to demonstrate his devotion to the gods and his ability to mobilize resources and labor on a grand scale. The ziggurat was also a focal point for the city's religious festivals and ceremonies. During these events, the streets around the ziggurat would come alive with processions, music, and offerings to the gods. The priests, who held significant power in Mesopotamian society, would perform elaborate rituals in the temple at the ziggurat's summit, seeking the gods' favor for the coming years. But the ziggurat's influence extended beyond religion. It played a crucial role in the city's economy, as the temple complex often housed granaries, workshops, and administrative offices. The ziggurat was a hub of activity, where goods were stored, taxes were collected, and trade was conducted. In many ways, the ziggurat was the beating heart of the city, representing the intersection of the divine, the political, and the economic. One of the most famous and well-preserved ziggurat is the Ziggurat of Ur, built around 2100 BCE by the king Ur-Nammu as part of his grand rebuilding of the city, dedicated to the moon god Nana. The ziggurat stood at the center of Ur, one of the most powerful cities of its time. The Ziggurat of Ur was a massive structure, measuring approximately 210 feet in length, 150 feet in width, and over 100 feet in height. The ziggurat was constructed in 3 layers, with a broad base supporting 2 smaller terraces each connected by the central staircase. At the top was the temple, which housed the statue of Nana and served as the focal point for religious activities. The ziggurat was surrounded by a walled enclosure with smaller temples, workshops, and living quarters for the priests and temple staff. The ziggurat of Ur was not only a religious center but also a symbol of the city's political power. Its construction required the mobilization of vast resources including labor, materials, and wealth, reflecting the king's authority and the city's prosperity. The ziggurat's prominence in the city's landscape served as a constant reminder of the divine protection and favor that Ur enjoyed. As the great civilization of Mesopotamia began to decline, so too did the ziggurats. The political and economic turmoil that plagued the region in the later centuries led to the abandonment of the many cities. And the ziggurats, once the centers of religious and social life, fell into disrepair. Over time, the mud brick structures eroded, and the once majestic ziggurats were reduced to mounds of rubble, their significance lost to the sands of history. It wasn't until the 19th and 20th century that these ancient wonders were rediscovered by the modern archaeologists. The excavation of sites like Ur, Babylon, and Nippur revealed the remnants of these towering structures, sparking a renewed interest in the civilization that created them. The ziggurats, long forgotten, were once again recognized as some of the most remarkable architectural achievements of the ancient world. Today, the ruins of the ziggurats continue to captivate scholars and visitors alike, offering a glimpse into the world of ancient Mesopotamia. While much of their original grandeur has been lost, the ziggurats remain powerful symbols of the ingenuity and devotion of the people who built them. The legacy of the ziggurats extend far beyond the borders of ancient Mesopotamia. These structures influenced the development of later monumental architecture, inspiring the construction of the pyramids in Egypt and the step temples of Mesoamerica.